Right at the top of the newsroom, political editor Navika Kumar speaking to MOS Power. Jyotiraditya Scindia.
Well, joining us right after the swearing-in ceremony in his first interview is Minister of State with independent charge, Jyotiraditya Scindia. Jyotiraditya Scindia, a huge leg up for Team Rahul Gandhi, the way it's being seen. You've been promoted to a very key infrastructure sector with independent charge. What's the message that the Prime Minister is trying to give?
I think very clearly the message that the Prime Minister Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul ji are giving, that this is an opportunity for people to perform now that a platform has been provided. So the first thing is that I'd like to say is my debt of gratitude in terms of such an important portfolio being given to me, to the Prime Minister Sonia ji and most importantly Rahul Gandhi ji. And I think now the responsibility is on us to perform based on the platform that we've been given.
Little too late for something like this to happen for the young brigade, given the fact that key infrastructure sectors like the power sector have been just, not making any mark in terms of growth, in terms of new investments, in terms of production. Has it been left too late in the day with the elections just about a few months away?
Well, I don't think so. I think a lot of progress has been made in the power sector over the last 6 or 7 years, and I think in many ways, Navika, if you look at the Indian landscape, that landscape comprises of two sectors. One is really the generation side, but the other more important sector area is the transmission and distribution side. And even that is broken up into two areas. One is rural India and the other is urban India. And the very fact that this ministry over the years, and I'm talking about my experience with this ministry as a public servant, as a member of parliament, has put together very innovative schemes, whether you talk about the APDRP scheme for the urban sector or the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana for the rural sector, to really put in place the infrastructure for distribution and transmission. I think that's yielded a lot of ground in many ways, but I think there is still a lot that needs to be done. But also keep in mind that this is also a ministry that has to work very closely with the Department of Coal and with the Department of Environment, because it's conjunct with both these departments. So I really look forward to a lot of consensus building and a lot of collective work with my senior colleagues in both these departments to make sure that we have an impactful tenure for the rest of the 16 months that we do. Power production also in terms of megawatts has gone up in the last 6 to 7 years in India tremendously under the stewardship of my predecessors, and I hope to carry on that legacy further.
You importantly mentioned the coal sector, and that's where we are looking at controversies of the recent past. Several private power enterprises have been given coal blocks. Not many have started production, and this entire coal gate scam that we're talking, any relook, are you going to do that as a priority?
I'm about 4.5 hours into my taking charge, so I think it will be too presumptuous of me to make any comments. I think the first couple of days I really have to soak in and learn in terms of a lot of the issues that are happening. But I will say this, that I think what's extremely important is that we provide two issues: one, guaranteed electricity, and two, at the most economical cost. And I think that is the platform on which we have to deliver. Whatever happens around that has to be based on this fundamental premise, number one. Number two, I think it's also very important that we look at transmission and distribution, as I said, because a lot of the bugbear of being able to provide that electricity is based on that aspect. So one, really look at the infrastructure on T&D, and two, really look at increasing generation on two fronts with the private sector as well as our Navratna PSUs, which have done a stellar job over the last 2 or 3 decades.
Mr. Scindia, the other big question that everybody is talking about is that when this exercise of the cabinet reshuffle really began, it was being talked about this huge revamp and rejuvenated cabinet that would come in. What we've seen is existing people have been promoted, but not too much young blood has really come in terms of Team Rahul and the stamp of Rahul Gandhi on the cabinet.
I would really disagree with that, because if you look at the number of new MOSs, independent charges that have taken oath today, it's been a very large reshuffle. It's also been a reshuffle that has seen new energy come to the fore, whether it's from states like West Bengal, Andhra, other states. and new people have been given an opportunity. And I think now the buck stops with us, and I think it's important for us to be able to deliver to the leadership based on the opportunity that we've been given.
Enough time for delivery has been given to the younger team, because we're talking about, some are even talking about an early election in 2013.
Well, you never know. You know, these things can't be predicted by you or me, but I think it's important to step forward with the right foot, with an earnestness of purpose, with sincerity and dedication towards the task that has been given to us, and do our best. And I think that's pretty much the mandate that's been given to us. And I, for one, will hope to be able to deliver based on that very clear mandate of dedication, sincerity, and commitment of purpose.
You would agree the fact that this is a UPA government that is right now in the middle of a lot of allegations on corruption, on scams, on non-performance, on misgovernance on various issues. Do you really think this team that the Prime Minister has now put in place could be the last reshuffle ahead of 2014? This is better position today to take on the principal opposition party, the BJP?
I think we're very well positioned to take on the principal opposition, the BJP. I think there's a big difference between what they speak and what they do. But that being said, I think ultimately it's the electorate of India that will decide, and that electorate of India will decide in the next 16 months. We need to go back to them with our report card of UPA 2, and I think there's a lot that we have done in our second term of the UPA as well, and we will go back with that report card and hopefully get their blessings once again.
And that is an important message as well, the electorate. Do you think, once again I ask you this question, 16 months enough for this new team to perform? Do you think it's been left for too late? This kind of a reshuffle should have happened maybe a year ago.
Well, I don't want to get into the past, but I will say this, that I think 16 months is a long time in politics. And I think in many ways is also enough time for someone to be able to perform. My first tenure as MOS, Minister of State in UPA 1 was 12 and a half months. And I think, a year and a half is enough time to be able to perform. And I hopefully will put my best foot forward, as I said, with sincerity and commitment and dedication of purpose. And then the proof of the pudding will be in the eating in terms of the electorate to decide eventually. But I think that UPA 2 is going to go back to the people of this country with a very, very clear report card of what we've been able to achieve in the past 5 years, and with a very clear report card in terms of what we would want to do for the future of India going forward. And I think that is being spearheaded very, very clearly by Rahul Gandhi.
The Prime Minister clearly is looking at investments in the power sector. That would be a crucial area that he would be looking for growth to come from. Are you going to have a priority or a kind of a program in the first few days?
I think Navika, it's too early for me to comment again today. But if you ask me the top of my head response to something like this, I think for me what's extremely important is really execution of even ongoing projects. Please bear in mind that this sector is a sector which has a very, very long gestation period. If you're looking at a hydropower project, and I'm just talking about this from my previous experience in my previous life as a banker, you're looking at the gestation period of almost 7 to 8 years. If you're looking at a thermal project, you're looking at 3.5 to 4 years, right? So for me, as a minister at this point of time, what I'd like to see is really the generation in terms of the projects that have already been sanctioned coming online as soon as possible, because execution is what the people of India want, right? And that's been very clearly the mandate that the Prime Minister has given all of us. Having said that, and therefore juxtapositioning that with reforms in TND, because if you don't do the TND part, there's no point doing the generation part. So what's extremely important is the TND part needs to be reformed. So therefore our schemes, whether it's RAP, DRP, and again I'm talking about this not from a ministerial point of view, but from my background as an experience as a public servant, as an MP, the schemes that I've taken, for example, in my area of RAP, DRP, Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Ujjivan Yojana form the bulwark of that reform in distribution and transmission.
But many say that politicians can't really do too much of reform in TND because the Jhuggi Jhopris will pull out power, and it's something that politicians won't be able to say no to.
It's a mindset change that I think India is getting ready for. Today, I think as a citizen of this country, what I would want is really reliable, guaranteed power. Doesn't matter if I have to pay a cost for that, rather than have a position where I will maybe not get power for 8-10 hours in a day, but I will get it at a suboptimal cost. Because if I'm a farmer, if I'm an industrialist, if I'm a service-oriented person, my production is getting hampered all across the board. right? So I would want this raw material of mine, which is power, to be insured in terms of guarantee and availability, and hopefully at an economical cost. Now there you come upon another issue. Again, this is not with any background of mine in this sector particularly, but you also have a federal and a central issue, right? Because SEB has come under the states. So therefore this is a ministry where you need to work in conjunct with your fellow ministers as well as with state governments. So it's a daunting task, but I will put my best in it.
So you have your task cut out for you. That was new Power Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia clearly spelling out his priority, challenging job ahead of him in the Power Ministry. In New Delhi, Navika Kumar for Times Now.